Happy Wednesday. Happy Mind Your Wednesday. I'm actually sitting in my car right now in my garage. You can probably hear the fans I have blowing over there, and I'll go ahead and say if I start to ramble on, just bear with me. As much of the world was kind of taken aback and moved, saddened by the passing of Chadwick Boseman, finding out about his passing. And I've had several conversations since um, with several different people. And one of the biggest things or main things that came up was his diagnosis was 4 years ago. And most of the major iconic movies that he did were post his diagnosis. So all of the treatment, surgeries, everything he's probably been dealing with or going through, he was battling that while becoming literally a superhero to the world, to us, as that's how we knew him. And, playing the iconic roles in 42 and Marshall. And just thinking about the mental state of he would have to be in. And I was having a conversation with my brother and was like, to pull that type of wheel, even going through your battle, to present yourself, your whole self, in everything that you did, in your gift and your talent, has probably been the most profound thing to me in all of this. Now, we don't know a lot, or his personal life was private, most parts, given um, what a lot of celebrities typically share and do in social media and things like that. So a lot of his life was private, and but just to know the battle and the struggle that he was going through in his personal life, he still came forth and gave us his gift. And so talking with my brother, it was just like thinking, he's like, well, do you think, like, why do you think he never shared or mentioned? And this is just my opinion, or thought after pondering that for a minute. But sometimes when you tell people things, especially something like that, it becomes about that and no longer about you and your gift and what you're giving, you're offering, and your talents. And it can also lead you to having to some way explain, if you will, sometimes. Um, well, how did that happen? And how long have you known? And what are you going to do? And how? And then you find that person that's physically dealing with it is almost consoling the other. Like, okay, I'm trying to console you about what's going on, with me. And that was just a conclusion that I came to, that sometimes you keep certain things, to yourself, because you end up having to almost put your feelings of how what's happening to you to the side to console others. And another thought I had was, in his struggle or battle, what did we see? We still got Black Panther, a whole superhero. And from what I've read and what I've seen, he did most of his scenes, the fight scenes with the diagnosis, and that certainty in who you are, what your gift is, what your purpose is, for that matter, And despite everything that's going on personally for you, to be so sure of your purpose that you want to give that to the best of your ability, which he did, despite all, despite everything else. Now, if I take nothing away, and again, this is just my conclusion of what I feel or think it was, if you will, is, man, no excuses. Like, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? If you're at a point, I read somewhere, or if I've heard this too, that the two most important days of your life or is the day that you're born, and then the day that you figure out why, which is purpose. If you're still in a place where you're trying to figure that out, please, please seek that, because the world needs that from you. And then those of us that are aware of our purpose and what God has given us to do, man, listen, no excuses. No excuses. I'm not saying you're gonna have any bad days. You're not gonna have any bad days. It's not gonna be difficult. And sometimes you just want to completely throw in the towel and just be like, yeah, I can't. Yeah. Think about Chadwick and all the amazing work that he gave us that will live on beyond him. Think about that. Like, no excuses. Live your life on purpose. Live your life on purpose so that you'll be able to, when that day God calls you, you'll be empty when he does. Guys, I kind of hope I didn't ramble too much. Usually I kind of have in my mind what I want to share with you guys, but I just hit record, just sitting here in the car. So I hope you get something out of this today. And like, really, guys, I say this every Wednesday to you all, but if nobody's told you that they loved you today, I love you, I love you, I love you. Guys, be a great day.